Spec Ops: The Line is one of my favorite games from the past, to say it in some way, and it's unlisted on Steam. You can no longer buy it, and it's also unsupported, but they don't give a specific reason as of why. Hi there on the reflection. Once the game launches, you'll see that it's at 640 by 480. Well, go into the options menu and set it up like this. In my opinion, dropping shadows from very high to high is helpful, in this case, to get a little extra battery. Now into the game. This is Unreal Engine 3, and while I have a lot of memories of this game, I gotta say, I think visually really aged very well. I think the art style really helped it out. But being UE3, it's an older game. It uses one or two cores, and you're trying to target higher frame rates. In this case, 90 FPS is not possible, at least not consistently when you are in combat. Again, more of an engine limitation, in my opinion. And there's also some stutters, so as you can see, even in UE3, we had some stutter struggle. Luckily, it gets sorted out way quicker than in newer UE4 and UE5 games. But again, to play this game, you basically either already own it on Steam or GOG, or you gotta go to the high seas in order to get it to play, which is unfortunate. I think due to the music is the reason this game got unlisted, I think. Music licensing. Maybe I'm wrong. But again, I think this game is fantastic. It'll feel pretty old because it's from the Gears of War era, but I think it has an interesting message one day. And also, in my opinion at least, it's a lot of fun. If you're into this sort of gameplay. And it has a hidden story, quote unquote, that they never ever showed in the trailers. So if you can check it out, I highly recommend you do it. But on the Steam Deck OLED, while I love how it looks, 90 FPS consistently is not an option. Alright, I'd open the Steam menu, unlock it to 60, and now the game should stay there basically across the board. Shouldn't be an issue. Again, here is more of a stress test. Alright, so back here we shoot everything, and as you can see, like this, we're over 4 hours of battery easily, maybe 5 hours on a full charge. So I think there's no reason not to play it at 60. It's way more consistent. Again, some stutters, but that's about it. Oops. And I love that I can destroy these. But what to say, man. I think the story really sells when it comes to the game. And again, they tried to do a switcheroo that this was like an action game from that era, like Gears of War, with some Call of Duty action to it. But honestly, the story is completely different. Again, they advertise something like a Call of Duty thing, but the story takes a different turn, I think for the better. This is at my last save for this game, it's like from 2017. Also, by the way, we got black bars at the top and bottom of the screen, unfortunately, so it's not using the entire screen, it's 16 by 9. But again, I think it held up very well when it comes to art. The shadows also look pretty good, despite being on high instead of very high. Again, there's some traversal stutter, but I think it's nothing major. It's just a shame. But it doesn't make it unplayable, in my opinion. Just lock it to 60 because you won't get consistent 90s. It seems to be an old engine thing. It loves using one main thread and the rest, well, good luck. Oh yeah. This is a 60 FPS game on the OLED. You can also do 70 or 80, but it's less stable and you get less battery life, so yeah, I mean, it's completely enjoyable in my opinion. The thing is, those micro stutters, they are a bit annoying. But other than that, great story, great game, and I think you should play it. If you have the chance. Of course, nowadays requires more work because it's unlisted, but I think it's worth the effort. But it's a product of its era, definitely. You can see that Gears of War was popular back then. But I really do like the aesthetic of you're in a place with a lot of sand, the sun burns you completely, very hard shadows. So yeah, when it comes to graphics, I think it aged fantastically well. Again, we're talking about Unreal Engine 3 game, so this was a PlayStation 3 game. Over 4 hours of battery. On an OLED. If you're on the LCD, I have a video in the description. But I think it's one of those quote-unquote perfect games for Steam Deck. It's older, uses very little resources in comparison to newer games, which means log it to 60 and very long battery life. Again, I just wish I had a solution for those micro stutters. Mostly seem traversal related, but after a bit, they get less intrusive. But other than that, again, I think the game is fantastic, and you should check it out if you have the chance. And also, funnily enough, the guy that voiced Nathan Drake, Nolan North, voiced the protagonist. And you can notice it when I do commands or something. Oops, they destroyed my cover. And there's also slow motion moments. Let's get out of the way. There we go. Yeah, with the grenade out, it's clearly Nathan Drake saying that. Oh, that's funny. Sometimes that takes me out of the game. Because I think about Uncharted. But it's a completely different vibe on this one. It's more like PTSD vibe. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested, you can also check it out on the LCD Steam Deck. There's a link in the pinned comment, so you can access it much easily than just looking it up. So again, this game, unfortunately unlisted, some micro stutter, and it doesn't get 90 FPS because I'm guessing uses 1 or 2 cores as the main thread. Again, PlayStation 3 game, and it's unlisted, so you need to sell the high seas right now at least if you want to play it, or already own it on Steam or GOG. But on Steam Deck, just lock it to 60, even if it's the OLED. You have great battery life, colors really pop on the OLED screen, and you get, again, more than 4.5 hours on a full charge. So yeah, I highly recommend it, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys.